So let's just continue. I didn't put out some videos for a while, and I keep questioning if I'll ever put out videos. Um, and there's a lot of reasons. One is because I found when you're alone, it's just as good as meditation. When you're quiet and you're not around distractions like people and entertainment and things like that, you naturally are in creative, meditative states. Your energy comes back to you. And so, solitude, in a strange way, has become my new best friend. And it's for health. It's for, going out into the world and working with people. People are always pulling on your energy because we live in a very dysfunctional culture right now where everyone needs a lot of validation and they only get it from other people. And then they have a lot of stuff to work through. So they need you to play a story in their life so they can get triggered and learn about themselves. They need you to reflect something. And so there has to be an energy engagement and a pulling on you to get a reaction, whether it's positive or negative, for better and for worse. So, the world is a drain, okay? The world is a vampire. And it just feeds on each other. So I have to step away from it all and start feeding myself, getting back to myself. And I realize this is it's the only thing that is going to bring me back to sanity, to bring me back to mental health, spiritual health, emotional balance is spending time by myself. Even though I would love to spend all my time with people, you know, so introvert, extrovert, keeping the balance, loving people, hating people, keeping the balance. Um, so, we're gonna just move on. So, yeah, this happens now more often. It's always happening, but hmm, hmm. Oh, that is so good. I knew it was gonna happen. I was hoping it would happen. So, once you clear your heart center, your other chakras start clearing. And when you're clear, your higher self, the oneness, the universe starts pouring in and through you. You are in a creative moment, you're in a creative state of consciousness, and you get to share that. And so when that happens, it it's a feeling sensation. So it kind of turns off your thinking brain that's going to move your mouth and generate thoughts while you feel this flow of spiritual energy. And it's amazing. Honestly, it's amazing. It's subtle, but it can become strong and overpowering. And I can share this energy with certain type of people, but I definitely call it a higher power because it's not, I don't get to say, oh, I want to share this with so and so because I feel like it or I think. There's no decision. It just comes and flows. And it's conscious. It's a it's the life force. It's the living universe. It's what we're all, it's oneness. And so I spent like this last year opening up my heart, and it wasn't like my heart was ever closed, but it was clogged with painful experiences, limiting experiences, bad energy from other people shoving their experience of themselves into you, you know, as they see you as their dad, as they see you as their enemy, as they see you as another man, as they see you as some other race, like as they project their judgments and all that stuff onto the world. We sometimes get exposed to things that we don't need, and deeper, and and that happens. But there's a natural clearing that happens too. Anytime you start returning to yourself, anytime you start doing some type of spiritual practice, all spiritual practices have an element of coming back to you, of feeling yourself, your environment, your space. And then those toxic energies eventually flow out. Sometimes other people come into your life to help remove that. Sometimes crystals, minerals, space rocks can also come in to help clear that. So we have traditional stuff, traditional rituals and meditation and things, like saging and Reiki and a good loving hug, a pet, creating sacred space for yourself, writing, journaling, exposing yourself to emotionally rich energy situations could also be part of your healing. Group therapies, like a group yoga, or whatever it is. Taking a nice sauna, whatever, all these things can contribute to clearing out negative energy. And it's all part of your spiritual growth. And so what you're becoming is who you always were. Let's just go straight there. Everything that you want, you already are. It's all within you. So if you want to be a deity like myself, it's already there. It's an unveiling. It's a stripping away of everything that you're not. It's a cleansing, it's a purging, it's a releasing, it's a purification. And at any time you move in those directions, you strengthen that direction. You strengthen it. So anytime I need an answer, I've now trained myself to stop thinking so much. I say, thinking is not what I need. Thinking is not what the world needs. The solution has to come from something greater than my ego that thinks. And all that thinking was programmed into me from an unconscious society that's human. So thinking is a habit that's not real. What I need is intuitive. What I need is direct from the universe, from the fountain of the universe, from the fountain. And so if thinking's not going to get me the answer, if thinking is not going to guide me, if it's not going to be coming out of someone else's mouth and I can't read it, how am I going to get this information? that's going to elevate me and humanity to the next level. I need to just open my mind to inspiration, to intuition, to whatever it is. And how is my mind going to open unless my heart is open? You know? And how is my heart going to open unless my body is open and relaxed? My body is high tech, biotechnology. And I need to get out of my own way, which was kind of the lesson of the last few days. I could see it more clearly. The only obstacle is me. And so, well, let's have him relax. Let's have him sit still. The discipline, of teaching yourself to surrender, relax, open, and let it flow through you. You can only relax unless you trust. And then you get good. Like you become more aware, or you can train your awareness to go, oh yeah, and I now know what that feels like when that power comes over me and flows through me and moves through me. I'm in a flow state. So this is like sports psychology too. The way you do one thing is the way you do all things, and all things are one things, and whatever direction, all paths are one. So you can apply the same things. How an athlete gets into flow will be how you become more intuitive. Mm. So you get more familiar with doing it right. I imagine, for me, my experience of mastery of whatever it is I'm doing of a mystical nature is, I think of it's like a maze, like a labyrinth. It's like a labyrinth, and it's in a box, and there's no lights in it, so it's dark. And there's a snake in the labyrinth, and that snake is my senses. But it's dark, it's pitch black, and I've never been in this labyrinth. I don't know how big it is. And all I can do is just kind of feel my way through. Okay, that feels all right. Okay, that feels all right. Okay. Oh, I didn't know this door was here. I didn't know that crack in the wall was here. I can move myself around so I can like physically, I did it right. Oh my gosh. I found my center. Oh my gosh, I found my alignment. Okay. So they said open my heart, focus on my heart. How do I do that? That feels interesting. Feels like my mind is settling here, my awareness. Okay, I can feel my heart. Oh, wait a minute, I'm feeling a sensation. Let me just relax more into it. Whoa. Oh, that's starting to feel good. But it's not a sense I'm familiar with. So I'm kind of moving around inside my energy, inside my body. I'm in that labyrinth again, and I don't know if there even is a way out. I don't know how big. I don't know how many layers deep. And oh, okay, that feels good. Oh, whoa, I can breathe. Oh, whoa, I feel expansive. I feel like a 10-pound weight just lifted. Now I know I did something right. There goes my back pain. Okay, set up in my mind. I'm thinking, I'm feeling, and I'm concentrating. Let me just relax. You know what? It feels like my brain is floating in a giant swimming pool. It feels like my skull is like the swimming pool. And it feels like the top is just open. It feels like I've lost my sense of physical body. Let me just breathe into that. Let me just feel my way. Can I push my mind open more? Literally expand the walls. Can I expand the wall space in my heart? Physically, I move it. Oh, I think something's working here. Starting to feel a sensation, not like heat, but more like light. But I don't see anything. I'll just keep working with it. Whoa, definitely release something. Now my tailbone's moving. I feel a buzzing sensation in my tailbone. So that's kind of literally what I go through when I'm working with energy, when I'm going into moving in and out of meditation, spiritual states of awareness and consciousness, and whatever it is I'm doing. There's a part of me that won't know. What will it be like when my third eye is open? Oh, I feel pressure and a headache. I must be squeezing my face. Don't need to do that. You know? Or, oh, now I feel a hollowness. It feels like there's a cave and it's infinitely long and it's going forward and backwards. Okay. But I'm still not seeing anything, but I feel very open in my forehead. So, okay. So, today, in this moment, that's what my third eye openness is like. Okay. So each day, each doesn't have to be each moment. It's like when you find a juicy spot of feel good, like, okay, mm, I'll push the boundary of that feel good sensation. Can I expand it more? Can I deepen it? Can I ground it more? Can I make it more solid? Can I make it uh, more like air? Can I expand it? Can it become lighter and more expansive? Can I push the boundary? Can I shrink it, make it more dense, make it more solid? Can I sink it and ground it into my physical being? How does the spiritual dimension sit in my chest? How far can I bring it down? Can I bring it all? Oh, it doesn't want to go down that far. Okay. And so I'm always experimenting, playing, and it keeps me amused. And pretty soon, maybe an hour went by, or all of a sudden, it's like, whoa, by experimenting, it might lock into place. And then, so you teach yourself inwardly what feels correct, what's not correct. When it feels correct and you have an experiential experience and it's good, you know it's correct. Then you say, I will add this to my practice next time or in 5 seconds, and I'll repeat this. So it's a science, it's a formula of how to unlock yourself, how to rearrange yourself and align yourself in a better way to have the experiences you want to have. So this is the inner science. This is learning how to move through that maze with your eyes closed. This is learning how to, you have all the parts to build yourself an Eiffel Tower, but you don't even know you're building an Eiffel Tower, and so you just have to really feel all the little parts and pieces and puzzle it together. And and so you're learning, what are these little energetic building blocks? What are the physiological building blocks? So like I'll be in meditation kind of attempting. So for me it's always an attempt. I and I there might be a moment where so that's what being so aligned I feel weightless feels like. Okay. So you do that repeatedly enough times, then it becomes natural. Then you're like, then it becomes, besides consistent, it becomes very competent. And then you have a lot of, then you're like, oh, I know when I know. Yeah, that's great. I'm totally aligned. I'm tuned in. Oh, well, I know I'm not getting answers now. Not because I'm not tuned in, but because there's nothing to get. Oh, I know a download is coming in. Oh, I know a stronger spiritual source that's not of me is now interacting with me. Uh, and so you get so familiar of the correctness of how you interface with it all, that you become the master of the way you meditate. You become the master of the way you connect with spirit, with ancestors. Like I know, like it's like you become very familiar with yourself. Like you're an instrument, you're a tool, and the world isn't teaching you how to become a master of your energies. Like you should be able to, a friend said, put up a shield, Onyx. And I'm like, I don't know how. Is that a shield? Do I imagine there's a shield? Do I blast with light? Is that a shield? No. What I found out for me is no, I have to go all the way in, find an inner portal, keep going in until it comes out. So I literally have to be the snake that eats its mouth. I'm like, oh, I had to go through an inner portal inside myself and I had to go all the way in and through until I came back out the other side. And so I had to learn to penetrate myself so much that it was a release. I had to do an implosion to explode my energy. And I'm like, you know how long that took me to learn that little technique? To even figure out, it took me a long time. I never knew I was doing it wrong. Like there's no manual. This is how you actually work with yourself and your energy. This is how you work with your mind. This is how you navigate realms. So once I figured out, I had to go through an inner portal inside myself. I had to implode to explode. That's a game changer. That was a lot of work to come to one little moment to then now I have to master it. So, like I astral projected through an inner portal inside myself when for so long I was astral projecting through outer portals outside of myself. I taught myself how to astral project. I taught myself. And when you teach yourself, it becomes you. It's a part of you. It's integrated. It's like authentic. It's like a fish learning how to swim. Like it's instinctual, but I think each fish has its own style, its own technique of being fishy. So, how you learn to unlock your heart, how you learn to unlock your mind and your body, how you learn to connect with a greater energy outside of you, within you, and around you. As you, so when we think about intimacy and bonding, it's it could be a lifetime art. And then the reward is you interact with the world that way. It's like, that's all I can say. It's like, I would say this is definitely more of a mystical Pisces video than ever. Because the application is limitless. I mean, in a weird way, these are principles. I take these principles towards meditation and mystical arts, but they're the same principles that you could apply to a relationship with yourself, a relationship with others, to how you work with your paint, to whatever project you're doing. So then they become like universal. And then it just becomes hopefully just wisdom, inspiration. It's just amazing. I want to wrap it up with saying if you're not happy, then you're doing something incredibly wrong with yourself. And also, I'm not saying expect moments of not happy, expect disappointment. If you don't ever feel unhappy, if you don't ever feel strong negative emotions, you're on the wrong path, because you should be disappointed when you're not going the right direction. You should feel impatient. So one day I'm like meditating and I finally figured out, oh, there's an inner setup that needs to go on. There's an inner foundation. And I can do it. Oh, I get it. I got to move into that silence. I got to spiral into, I got to move into stillness, move into silence. And this is the secret inner architecture. This is the structure that needs to happen to be in the meditative state. Okay, I now learned how to penetrate into silence. Whoa. And I was experiencing it, and it was getting deeper, and I was experiencing it deeper, and I was getting more excited and more excited as I got deeper and deeper into my meditation experience. And I realized I'm in my bliss. It just looks different. It's not jumping up and down and singing kumbaya and hugging people and smiling. No, it was, I'm going deeper into the silence, and I feel gratitude, achievement, excitement, and I want to keep going. I felt fueled and more motivated. I'm like, this is the most interesting experience because I'm going deeper. My body is completely relaxed. I'm going into the void. Things are being silenced and tranquil and peaceful. And as I move into these depths, there's this whole other part of me getting more excited, more energized, more pumped, more fueled. So it was happening, it was like the lower half of my body was like, let's run a marathon, like energized. And the whole upper half of my body, complete silence, going deeper and deeper and deeper into stillness. And I was like, this doesn't look like in the magazine. This doesn't look like yoga class. But Because yeah, that's all I can say. It's about figuring yourself out from the inside out, creating alignment, and spending that time with you is the best thing you can do to advance yourself to the highest levels of mysticism and magic.